What is up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiled Little Bastards. And on today's episode, as you guys can see, it is the Camaro. I told you that there was going to be Camaro content coming. I'm obviously pointing to the front of the vehicle because we finally have some performance mods. I am super stoked. Finally, she's getting a little bit of love. And so first things first, we got to do is take out this little air box in here. Here I have, let me grab the box. Roto-Fab, baby, let's go, the intake system. So we're gonna get this going, install, and it's gonna be one of the first, like I said, performance mods soon. Exhaust will come. Hopefully that is in the future. It should be coming in the next couple weeks. They've been really lagging on it. I've been in contact with them and they've been just saying like they're getting them tips powder coated and a bunch of other stuff. So this is the first thing. Let's go ahead. I don't know if you guys can see me. Let's go ahead and break in onto it. I'm stoked.
It is. But you know what?
I'm so busy at work. All right, so first things first, you're gonna take some pliers, grab this clamp, take off this hose. Second step to do, actually first step is you have to disengage the battery. Sensors, that was a duct, I do apologize. So then it says to disengage that fitting, and then you're gonna disconnect the PCV breather line connected to the top. So actually you're gonna push this gray tab in, and it disengages it, you pull straight up, and you just leave it to the side right there. Then you're gonna disconnect the MAF sensor. You will need, I think you're gonna need that T20, but you have to get it on the ratchet because you cannot get it with the little T here. So let me go ahead and grab that so we can get that going. All right, so you're gonna do, I don't suggest using the, man, you guys can't see me. I guess it's not important. But you're not gonna wanna use the T handle. You're gonna get one with a ratchet to get in here. There's a little red lever you pull back, press that in the middle, and then your MAF sensor comes out. Don't lose that, don't mess with it. Then it says to, on the rear of the stock air box, below, a few inches below the oil fill cap, pull the release tab on the tube retainer to free the sound tube from the air box. So back here, there's this little, what do they call it? Tube retainer. You just want to pull straight up and that releases the sound tube from it so that you can get that, because that is a piece out there. Then it says to use the 8mm socket and loosen the hose clamp retaining the inlet elbow to the throttle body, which is right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then it says remove the entire air intake assembly by grasping the air box as shown in picture 5 and pulling it upwards. 3 studs and grommets retain the air box. Free the rear outboard stud first where the right hand is grasping the box. So you'll want to come up here and pull, and then one or more rubber grommets may come out with the airbox studs. All 3 of the grommets are used with the Roto-Fab system, so reinstall them in the respective mounting holes on the chassis. So that means don't lose them. All right, so you take that clamp off. As you guys can see, this comes up. So you are going to want to, like it said, I'm actually going to flip sides. It says to grab here and lift that up, and there's no way it's that easy. So the only thing they don't tell you is what's holding onto the sensor in here. There's a zip tie. There's a zip tie. So you got to go ahead and cut that, and the whole thing releases. That is actually really simple compared to the Subaru. Let me tell you that. So you're just going to want to get some cutters and finesse your way in there without cutting anything important. All right, and let's see. That's it.
One stroke done.
One gargantuous piece comes out. I think we should run it like that. Be done with it. I'm just kidding. So let's see what the next thing says to do. Flip to page 4. So it says on a workbench, use a T20 Torx bit to remove the 2 screws retaining the MAF airflow sensor. Place that sensor in a clean, safe place until reinstalled, which we already did. Start the screws back into the original holes for safe storage as they will not be reused. So you can't. It comes with screws already. You can't use the stock ones, or apparently it'll mess up the brass fittings in there. So don't do that. It says remove both the 90-degree fitting for the sound tube and the PCV reservoir from the stock intake system. Like I said again, this is a sound tube delete. So I want to take these, the 90 and this piece out. They have like a little like really. All that stuff, it doesn't pick me up. Has a really crappy clamp on there, which you have to take a screwdriver in and pry it open, like pry the little tail open. So that can be a pain in the butt. We will get maybe a little bit of a mark like I did here on this, so we'll see what's next. All right, so what it says to do is to grab the inlet tube, and you're gonna take this little 90 here, and you're gonna screw it in here. You have to be very careful because it's it's plastic, so you gotta be very easy with it. So you're gonna wanna tighten it, hand tighten it, and take, I don't remember the size, I'll get it for you guys. Take it, you're gonna tighten it, and there's like a little mark here that you're gonna line it up with. That's what it states. And then, once you do that, tighten until snug, then tighten once more until the barb straight section is aligned with the scrib marks. So there you go. It'll show you in number 9 here. And it says locate the PCV reservoir previously removed from the stock intake. Fully engage the number 13 hose under the horizontal barbed nipple on the reservoir, which I believe looks like this. So you're gonna take this piece here, and it's gonna go on like so, as you guys can see. Looks good all the way around. And then you take your reservoir here, and because it's gonna sit like so, you're gonna take this side and go bam. I was not expecting to use all of this stock stuff. I'm definitely surprised that they have you use all this extra crap. You would have think that they'd have all new stuff. So then that goes on like so. It says fully engage the other end of the number 13 hose, which is that little guy right there, onto the barbed end of the number 12 fitting into the inlet elbow. So that's all set up now. If you have a sound tube delete, you don't need that. Here it has, I made a fool of myself, huh? There is like all of your block off plate stuff for the actual sound tube deletes. All right, so you're gonna need a T45 to take off these two bolts right here to take out the sound tube. What do they call it? The sound enhancer units. So you're gonna take those out first. Knock these suckers out real quick. So then that's what that enhancer looks like. I'm just gonna toss it up there. And it says remove the plumbing back to the firewall. Use a screwdriver to remove the 2 rubber retainers. It looks like that would be these suckers here that you probably don't even, let's see, bam, there's one, and there's 2. So now it's technically off. And then it says 10mm sockets, remove the nut retaining the duct to the firewall. There's only one, it looks like, so you're only gonna need to take that off, and then we'll start back up from there. So I need the 10mm. So then you're gonna take the 10mm off, and it looks like it just kind of unhooks. Wiggle the old hose out, and bam, this thing can go away or in the trash or whatever you want to do with that. Sorry, that was a duck. And then, let's see what it says next to do. It says you're gonna reuse that nut to install the supplied block-off plate to the firewall. So, grab the nut, and then you're gonna grab, here's what the plate looks like. And then it says tighten with the foam seal centered on the round opening. So it's going to sit like so on top of it. And then tighten with the foam seal centered, read that. Resume installation using the normal intake instructions. That was easy. Alright, so what you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to take your air box, and you're going to want to take your MAF inlet tube, and you're going to take the tube. I already started it and pretty much finished it, but you're going to want to take the tube and go through here, and then you get this little flange. You're going to want to line the flange up correctly. There's a little T up here for the top to adjust it, and then you're going to screw it in. And that's basically one more step done to getting it all finished. Alright, so now you take this dump hose, you take a number 11 clamp, and You're gonna set that on there, tighten that, make sure that the clamp top is facing upwards. And then it says, fully engage the hump hose onto the end. Ooh, hump hose, I like that. That's a good name. Orient the clamp so screw portion is up. And with the MAF sensor black and the screw head facing upwards, tighten the clamp, do not over tighten, they will strip. So it says locate the number 2 M4, which would be that. MAF sensor screws, which are these little guys in here. And then it says to carefully install the MAF sensor into the housing and secure back the not O2, what am I talking about? The MAF sensor. Alright, so you're going to take the step hose coupler and the clamp, and you're going to set that up on there. The little smaller side goes up onto the throttle body, and you're just going to want to tighten with the 7mm, make it as straight as possible. So what you're going to want to do, and what it says is you have to take off the rubber grommets. Just my hand's a little dirty. You want to take the rubber grommets off of the old intake box, and you're going to want to put them on all 3 spots. And the first one that has to go in is this front piece. As you can see, you have to dig in first to be able to feed it back into the little bit of the inlet down here. And you're going to want to get your hand push in there so you can get the inlet around that housing. Once that one is fully seated, you can push back on these 2. And as you guys can see, I'm barely putting pressure on it, but it's not moving anywhere. So doing pretty good so far. I think next is to put actually the filter on, and we're almost done. Look, it's coming together. Alright, filter is on. I like the white. I went with the dry filter just because I didn't think I needed to deal with all the oil. So it looks like we got just a couple more pieces over here. See where these all go in, what clamps we need to use, and finish up the job, baby. We're almost done. It's not as hard as the damn Subaru, I'm going to tell you that for sure. Alright, inlet tube is in. Time to strap down the clamps. Alright, one more. This has got to go around the big sucker there. Alright, so MAF sensor's in. These are all tight. You gotta clip this hose back in. Sound tube deleted. All set. Just the finishing touches. Mitchell, can you do the honors in recording? See how we can get this, if we can get it aligned properly. Oh, hang on.
You got really...
I got screwed, bro. Oh no, one piece of the R came. We'll leave the R like that.
It looks good.
It looks good right there though. I think it's time for a startup. Ready?
Yeah.
How many kids are gonna be like that? How many kids are gonna want to watch basketball? That's what's crazy.
Everything seems to be good so far. I'm gonna do a couple test laps. Go do some runs, make sure everything is, hot, cold scenario. And air intake system is complete. One less mod to do now for the power. Time for exhaust. We'll go get some quick clips and see if it made any other sound. Hang on. Let's see if it has.